What is going on, trainers? DrumVillain here, bringing you some more Pokemon Go PvP content, and today we're taking a look at the Element Cup, which is 500 CP, fire, water, grass, all inclusive. It's been here before, it was broken before, Ducklett was the most overpowered thing in this cup, and since the wing attack buff, that has gotten worse. Ducklett loses to almost nothing in this meta, except Chinchou. So the cup pretty much just revolves around Ducklett, Chinchou, counters to Chinchou, which are the grass types, things like Bulbasaur, Chikorita, Cottonee, and then the counters to Chinchou, which is fire types like Vulpix, Growlithe, Litleo, etc. But the main things you're going to be seeing are going to be the Duckletts, the Chinchous, and the immediate counters. And Vulpix is the most common fire type that you're probably going to run into because it has quick attack as well as Ember as fast moves, and then body slam and weather ball for nice spammy charge moves. And the team that DOOMNukem here is bringing is playing exactly into that model. We've got the grass type in Bulbasaur on the lead, which is a pretty strong grass type in this meta because it's going to be double resisting other grass moves. It's going to be resisting Charm from Cottonee that might come in. It's going to be able to threaten water types. It walls the Chinchou. You've got the Ducklett on the safe swap, which is going to just pull out a Chinchou probably, which then the Bulbasaur will be able to farm down, get ahead on energy. And then you also have the Chinchou in the back to hardwall any Duckletts that might swap in into the Bulbasaur. Now, this team might seem very rock, paper, scissors, and to be honest, this cup in general is very rock, paper, scissors. There isn't much nuance to this cup overall. There are a few spicy picks that exist kind of outside the rock, paper, scissors model, but generally you're just gonna be depending on lineup and just trying to guess what opponents are putting on lead more often, what they're putting in the back more often, and trying to play the numbers game to win more matchups than you're losing. Now, moveset wise, DOOMNukem's opted for Vine Whip, Seed Bomb, and Sludge Bomb on Bulbasaur. They've gone for the classic Spark, Bubble Beam, Thunderbolt on Chinchou. There isn't really any options around that. And then Ducklett, you got the Wing Attack, the Bubble Beam, and the Brave Bird. Now, you can go for Aerial Ace instead of Brave Bird if you want a new Ducklett, but honestly, Brave Bird's just so strong and Aerial Ace is just so terrible as a move. It's hard to justify Aerial Ace over Brave Bird, to be honest. The damage is absolutely monstrous. If you want, you can choose a different grass type on the lead instead of Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur has the distinct advantage of probably being the strongest out of the grasses. Like, it beats all the other grasses. It'll beat it'll beat the Razor Leafers quite handedly. It beats Cottonee very nicely because that poison typing goes a long way in adding resistances to it. But also, that gives it some weaknesses. So outside of the water, fire, grass meta that's going on here, there are a few Pokemon that learn confusion, things like Slowpoke and Execute. Now, they can be really tough to handle, and also they're going to be doing super effective damage against Bulbasaur because the poison typing is weak to the psychic damage. So if you're seeing more of that floating around, then I would recommend Chikorita instead, because Chikorita is a very strong grass type, very spammy. It's got Body Slam, it's got Grass Knot and Vine Whip, I believe, is its moveset, and that makes it very handy. It's going to be neutral against those confusion users instead. Now, if you don't want to run Chinchou or Ducklett, you can swap it out for a different water type. Something like Wooper does very well for walling Chinchou rather than walling Ducklett. You can bring Slowpoke in for some neutral damage if you put a confusion on it. It's very versatile overall in the meta. But this lineup seems to be working out pretty well for DOOMNukem overall. We see you've got a grass type on the lead here in Seedot. We're double resisting those bullet seeds, so it's very nice because that means that you can let one charge move go through here and they're probably not going to be able to take you out. See the Foul Play, it is a pretty good move, Foul Play. It's strong. It's one of the reasons why Umbreon and Sableye are so powerful in general, but Seedot doesn't have the same type of attack bonus. It's not a dark type, so it's not going to be as threatening. You can take it pretty comfortably on Bulbasaur and you're not at risk of being farmed down. The opponent swaps into Ducklett. They're going to throw a Sludge Bomb before swapping into Chinchou. I don't recommend doing that. You just want to swap straight into Chinchou. You wall this thing so hard, it doesn't matter. Either way, even getting a Sludge Bomb off there, you see they're still going to make it to a Brave Bird and hit you for big damage. They'll probably be able to hit you for that anyway. You might as well just get Chinchou in there and just get farming down, save the energy on your Bulbasaur to threaten this Seedot a little later on. We're going to be able to make it to a Bubble Beam anyway against the Seedot. Is this going to get a shield out of him? It might not, and they're going to get the farm down. This is a little bit scary because do you give up your last shield here or do you save it for the Ducklett? Doom's going to choose to save the shield for the Ducklett, see what they've got in the back. What is it they're going to bring in? They're going to farm down entirely. The opponent's going to surrender. We're not going to find out what they had in the back. Must have been weak to Ducklett. A lot of things do not want the smoke. Matchup 4, another great lead for Doom. They're going to be catching a Chinchou on the lead. A lot of people are leading Chinchou, hoping to catch the opposing Duckletts floating around. And this opponent say swaps into a Salandit, which is very spicy for this cup because it is hard to get a hold of this thing under 500 CP. Doom's going to bring in Chinchou, which I don't generally recommend just because Ducklett handles this thing a little bit better, got a little bit better bulk overall, but it does turn out to be the right play in this matchup. I believe they have a Cottony as well in the back on this team, and it actually leaves them fully weak to Bulbasaur. I'm not sure why they would have swapped out actually, because it puts them in a pretty scary position because Bulbasaur's got some major potential in this game now. They're going to choose to bring in Ducklett to the Cottony, obviously, because you might as well spend it here rather than against the Chinchou. I would have recommended that the Ducklett throw a Brave Bird straight away there against the Chinchou, though. Force a shield or get him within farm down range. Bulbasaur's going to come in, going to get a shield, and being at a shield disadvantage, thanks to the Salandit, is a little bit scary here, because if they get a Thunderbolt through, they're going to get you very low on the damage is done. They do let the Thunderbolt through. That is very, very unfortunate for Doom. This is actually going to mean that the Cottony is going to be able to farm down the Bulbasaur after Chinchou is taken care of. So this is kind of scary at this point. They get farmed down with Spark as well. This is even scarier for Ducklett. If this is a Thunderbolt, it's going to absolutely wipe them out. It's a Bubble Beam bait. Worst case scenario, this game has definitely worked out in the opponent's favour. They've played it just right to play out of being kind of hard walled. They got their Chinchou lined up against Doom's Bulbasaur, and then they had Cottony for Ducklett and Salandit with Chinchou, and they managed to pull it back anyway. So very well played by the opponent there, and unfortunate for Doom. If you guys are looking for other teams for the Element Cup, by the way, I've done a few videos on this cup when it's been in previously. The meta hasn't really changed with the buff to wing attack. It just makes Ducklett a little bit stronger overall, but those teams are still very viable and still work. So I'll put a link to them down below in the description where you can find them if you want to check those out as well. Last matchup, and we've got a Leleep on the lead, which is a little bit spicy in this cup. It does have ancient power to threaten Ducklett, which is quite a unique position for a grass type to be in this meta, but it is quite squishy. You can see even the Vine Whips are doing big damage to this thing. So these Seed Bombs from Bulbasaur are going to be very threatening as well. They just survive with 1 HP though to get a last charge move off, which is incredibly lucky for the opponent here. Bulbasaur is going to choose to shield up. They're going to give up both shields in this lead matchup just to take a dominant lead. Now what's in the back? Cottony comes in for the farm down, and this is not a good matchup for Cottony, and Bulbasaur's got a lot of energy and they've only got 1 shield, so they're going to be able to make it probably to 2 Sludge Bombs here. Yeah, and this is going to absolutely, this double super effective Sludge Bomb, it's going to annihilate Cottony and then leave Doom with 2 Pokemon to debuff the hell out of whatever's in the back. They're going to have a Chinchou mirror match. The opponent's going to surrender there, realizing the damage is done, not even seeing the Ducklett that Doom has in the back. So GG. So 4 out of 5 wins, a strong showing at around the 2800 ELO range for Doom with this team, just showing what the hard meta can definitely do for you. So let me know how you guys are getting on. Are you playing the Master League or the Element Cup? Are there any spicy picks you want to see me potentially show what it can do in this cup? But as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch all of you absolute legends next time.